It's time to sit back, relax, and listen to Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life. Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life will inspire, motivate, and empower you. Live your best life now. Listen, learn, think, and decide. Change your attitude, change your life. And now, here's your host, Joan Herman.
Welcome to Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life. I'm Joan Herman. Thanks for tuning in. Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life brings you interviews with some of the most inspirational and influential people in the world. It's our goal to educate and empower you so you can live your best life now. Thank you for taking time for yourself, and thank you for letting us be a part of your life. We have another great show for you today. As we age, it's very easy to fall into the mindset that we are no longer relevant, we have no options, and that it's too late to do the things we've dreamt about. Today's guest, Dr. Robi Ludwig, says that midlife doesn't have to be about loss. It can be a time of gain and tremendous growth. She's here today to discuss how we can embrace a new mindset in order to live a fulfilling life. Dr. Ludwig is a psychotherapist, award-winning reporter, author, and relationship expert. She's a regular guest on CNN, Fox News, and Headline News, and has appeared on Today, Entertainment Tonight, 2020, World News Tonight and Nightline, among others. She writes for the Huffington Post, and her latest book is Your Best Age is Now. Embrace an ageless mindset, re-energize your dreams, and live a soul-satisfying life. Welcome, Dr. Ludwig. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, and I love the title of your show. It's certainly what my book is all about.
Dr. Robi, so many of us, especially people like me, women like me, I'm middle-aged, and we can very easily fall into the trap of thinking that the best is behind us, and we often fear that it's too late for us, that life is on the downside. I know myself, and I should know better, but I have those thoughts. I think about I wanted to go to college, and I wanted to get married, and I wanted to have children and buy a home and start a career, and I accomplished all those things. And sometimes I wonder, what's next? What is it that's left? So where do these thoughts come from?
Well, I think it's very common to have these thoughts. I think in part, we are led culturally to believe that youth is where all the possibilities lie. So we're fed this message, and it almost has a brainwashing effect that as we age, we somehow age out of possibilities. And it's a very dangerous mindset, first of all, because it's not true. And second of all, it contributes to people giving up on themselves when they don't have to and prematurely. And I totally relate to you because, that's in part what encouraged me to write this book. As a psychotherapist who does television, I would go out on interviews for various TV shows and pilots, and one of the questions I was asked was, how old are you? Mm-hmm. I think it's illegal for most job interviews, although I'm not a lawyer. And I remember thinking, I'm not self-conscious about my age at all. But I started to wonder, well, how is my age going to be experienced by this younger person who's interviewing me? Is this really it? Has the best already happened? And I realized, my goodness, that is such a dangerous idea to have, that it really encouraged me to do some research and look at the books that were out there, which all kind of substantiated this very dangerous idea. It's all about what you're losing. You're losing your toned body. How do you deal with being invisible? Now, who wants to be invisible? And I realized, wow, we really do need to have one place that shows that there's a lot of positive things going on in midlife, and we don't want to miss this opportunity to use the best of everything available to us.
And it's interesting, Dr. Robi, when I look at pictures of my grandmothers at age 69, they looked so much older, but then you look around now and you see these rock stars and these actresses that are well into their 70s. I mean, look at Paul McCartney and Rod Stewart.
Yeah.
And these are not the grandparents that we grew up with. So do you think society is beginning to embrace what midlifers have to offer?
I think that there are a lot of changes that are going on so that really midlife is not the midlife that it was in the past, in part because science is a huge game changer. Mm-hmm. And people are living so much longer. It's taking people a lot longer to grow up, including people who are in midlife. that midlife is no longer that point where you say, oh, I'm about to retire and, let me put everything in perspective and say goodbye to my kids in college and figure out, what I want to knit. That it really is a very different time because we have so much ahead of us, including how many years that we can live. And so people are living longer. They want to live younger. And we're seeing examples of people really looking the age they probably feel in their head. So it's a combination of science, what's available to us, the information that's available to us, and seeing that people out there who are 60 no longer really look the way our image of what a 60-year-old should look like. So it gives us all the possibility to really look how we feel, look younger, feel younger, take care of ourselves better.
So, Dr. Robi, I think people like me, I think we're that transitional generation between what we believe an older person should be and what we really are. So if we have this mindset, how do we go about beginning to change this belief structure?
I'm so glad you asked, because this is really the cornerstone of my book. And what I recommend is really to get in touch with, since there are so many similarities between midlife and adolescence. In fact, Gail Sheehy referred to midlife as midolescence. There are similarities in terms of there are hormone changes. We begin to look at our lives and question our lives in the same way adolescents do. And so really the fountain of youth is borrowing from our own almost teenage adolescent energy, which is filled with a lot of moxie, a lot of questioning and a lot of rebelling. And so the first thing really is to rebel against this notion that we've aged out of anything, that we are deteriorating, that our minds can't learn anything new, that we can't hold on to new information. That's not true. That we can't change our personality, because that's not true. That the best time of our life is not ahead of us. That's simply not true. So it's really beginning to rebel against some of these ideas which are false and getting in touch with our inner moxie that we had when we were younger, saying, I'm going to prove you wrong. This is not true. This is not accurate. I believe in myself, and I'm going to be true to myself and my dreams and what's important to me. I don't recommend giving into the negative aspects of adolescence, but if you look at some of the positive things about adolescence, we really can borrow from that mindset of turning to peers for support, constantly looking around to others to reinvent ourselves and recreate who we want to be. So, it's really borrowing from that idea.
And if someone's looking for an example, Dr. Robi, I started this work 6 years ago at age 46. So, and I like to joke about it. I say a middle-aged mom from, a small town in New Jersey had a dream, and this is what I'm doing now. So in a way, I'm proof of exactly what you've written about.
And I think what happens, and I don't know if this was true for your experience, but listen, by the time we've reached midlife, we've been humbled by some of the realities, right? Mm-hmm. We've had some failures, we've had some regrets. Not everything has turned out our way. We've accomplished many of our goals, and we forget the importance of dreaming. We forget the importance of giving ourselves time and space to realize we have all of this wisdom. We have all of this energy. Let's put it towards good use. It's really such an amazing time because we know so much now. We've learned from life. We know who we are. We know what's important to us. And so now it's really time to reach for that next new level of who do we want to be, and to look towards role models who inspire us. And maybe that will be a contemporary, maybe it will be somebody older, and maybe it'll be somebody younger. There's a lot to learn from the younger generation as well.
Dr. Robi, one of the biggest fears that people have as they age is dementia, forgetfulness, brain fog. I want to talk about the brain. What does research show is taking place in the brain as we enter midlife?
So the brain continues to learn new information, and it is not in this deteriorated state at all. And that's what the brain studies show. But certainly the more that you challenge your mind, you learn new things, that you exercise, and not only exercise with the right mindset. So if you're exercising and you feel younger, you will be more productive. Our brains are still growing and still, we're not in this phase where we're demented. Dementia really probably is due to some kind of disease of the brain that we haven't figured out how to resolve yet. But it's amazing when you treat your body right in terms of giving it the right nutrition, giving it the right amount of sleep, the right amount of exercise, challenging yourself to constantly learn more and be stimulated, then your brain will respond accordingly. And they've done interesting brain studies on identical twins. And it shows you the power. It's kind of everything your mother ever taught you about making good choices. Identical twins, are more alike when they're younger and raised in the same environment. And what they've discovered is that when you look at twins, one twin who exercises, who takes care of themselves, who doesn't smoke, who uses sunscreen, who eats right, their body is in a very different state than the twin that is more sedentary, that has not taken care of themselves. And so there's something, that happens with our genes where our genes respond to our environment, and it can turn on certain healthy aspects of our gene expression or turn off certain things in terms of our gene expression. So our environment is constantly interacting with our mind and our genes and our body.
The book is Your Best Age Is Now. Embrace an Ageless Mindset, Re-energize Your Dreams, and Live a Soul-Satisfying Life. If you would like to learn more about this topic or Dr. Robi, you can visit her website, drrobiludwig.com. That's Robi, R-O-B-I, drrobiludwig.com. Dr. Robi, in about 30 seconds or less, what would you like to leave our listeners with?
I want the listeners to not give up on themselves, to create time to dream, to realize the best years are still ahead of them, and they have so much wisdom and knowledge to give and so much more to learn, to use these years in a way that's productive and soul-satisfying.
Dr. Robi, thank you so much for being here with us today and for this wonderful reminder about how midlife does not mean the beginning of the end. It really is a time of tremendous potential. And when so many of us have 30, 40 more years to live, we really can use this as a time to fulfill our dreams. So this is a wonderful reminder, and I thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Joan Herman, host of Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life. Did you know that Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life has a free monthly digital magazine that can be read online or emailed to your inbox? Every month, nationally recognized leaders in their field provide information to educate, inspire, and motivate you. We believe in a holistic approach to life, incorporating mind, body, and spirit. Check out a copy of Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life 24/7. Visit cyacyl.com and be sure to tell your friends. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you found the show informative. At Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life, we believe that knowledge is power. Take what you've learned, apply it, and live your best life now. Remember that the information provided are the opinions of our guests and should never replace the advice of a professional who knows your personal situation. If you'd like more information, visit our website, cyacyl.com. That stands for Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life. While on the site, listen to past shows on demand, read the digital magazine, and be sure to follow the show on Facebook and Twitter. Until next time, this is Joan Herman. Thanks for tuning in.